Hello, what's up people? This will be a little different video from what you are used to, but I think you will like it anyway. And if not, I'm going to try and explain to you why everyone that likes drifting or racing cars should also like motocross games. I bet many of you who have tried these games just give up because they're too hard. But if they weren't so hard, it wouldn't be so much fun when you finally get the hang of it. For example, nailing that perfect drift or racing line or overtake is pretty hard but very satisfying when you make it. Same goes for motocross, in particular Supercross, because it's the hardest, and once you nail those perfect jumps and lines, you sort of get the same satisfying feeling as when you drift or race a car. But a bit differently, which is nice because it's nice with a bit of variation in our gaming. And that's why I just love to relax from all the car simulator driving by sitting back in my sofa and play these kind of motocross games, always trying to get better and better. Notice I said these kind of games, well that's because there are so many, but few of them that are as good as MXGP and MX vs ATV Reflex or Supercross, which is about to be released now on 28th of October 2014, which I am definitely buying for my PS3, so if you do the same, feel free to add me broburga on PlayStation Network. Then there are of course the good old classics like Motocross -2, which is just loads of fun and worth trying out, but it's very old, and same goes for MX Simulator, which has amazing physics but not really graphics. Both games are missing those nice graphics, and most importantly that unique terrain deformation system, which makes both MXGP and MX vs ATV very unique, and I think actually the last one I said there wins because I think it has the best looking terrain deformation, which I think they are fine tuning a little bit in the upcoming Supercross game actually. Some of you might also wonder why I haven't mentioned MX vs ATV Alive, and that's simply because even though being a generation older, Reflex is the better game. Although Alive has nice graphics and physics, the amount of content is very poor and the progression system is slow, making you go through the same tracks multiple times before you can actually progress and unlock more tracks. That's why I think Reflex is better than Alive, you simply get a lot more for your money. Then there is also a game called Mud, which sucks. It's too unrealistic and lazy, so it's not even worth talking more about in my opinion. So yeah, as you may have noticed, I kind of prefer MX vs ATV over MXGP. Both games has its good and bad, but I think you get a little more for your money when it comes to MX vs ATV. The reason being you get a lot more tracks and modes than you do in MXGP, so the game definitely lasts longer. And also, unlike MXGP, it has two-stroke bikes, ATVs, buggies, trucks, free ride mode, and an awesome freestyle system and freestyle mode, which makes you able to pull off those amazing tricks and flips. In MXGP you can't do any backflips or tricks at all, unless some nice scrubs and whips, which is when you lean your bike through the air. But even that feels so limited compared to how much you can actually scrub or whip in MX vs ATV. So summing this up, both games is more realistic than the other in some parts and in some parts not. In other words, I think it's too hard to explain. I suggest you downloading the demos and try them out yourself, as we all like different things. Again, the game has their good and bad sides, but in overall MX vs ATV Reflex, or maybe even Supercross, is the best game in my opinion, because you get more content and there is a lot more to do. So, hope you really enjoyed this video and that you can now understand why I like motocross games so much. I will most likely do a video on that upcoming Supercross game once I played it a little bit, because as you may have noticed by my driving here, I'm not so good yet. I've actually just started playing these games seriously, but been a motocross driver in real life since I was about 12. Nothing serious, just love the raw power and freedom you get, when you sit yourself on that Honda CR250 two-stroke I once had, for example, but never got to drive it properly. So yeah, I might get a new one and even do a proper GoPro motocross video as I have done with my sports bikes, but that will be next summer 2015 in that case. We do have some really awesome trails here where I live and even a motocross track, so that would be awesome. Again, I hope you enjoyed, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. See you in my next video, which will be some Assetto Corsa tandem drifting.